Hey guys, welcome back. So this weekend is the Log Lift Championships and the Strongman Open. It is the first time it's been in Birmingham, which is exciting. Back to where one of my favorite shows is from, which is the Peaky Blinders. But we have the Strongman Open this weekend and the Log Lift Championships. So let's just go down through some of the names. So we have Mitchell Hooper, we have Alexei Novikov, Kevin Simpleton, we have Gavin Bilton, Thomas Evans, Luke Richardson, Andre Fautou, Evers Schmock Stellis, Maxime Baudreau, Kevin Fairs, Nathan Goldtree, and of course Paddy Haynes. And Iron Bibi is doing the log only this weekend, which is a bit of a pity because if you look at some of Iron Bibi's training at the minute, he looks to be in really good shape. I know he was training with Luke Richardson a couple of times since he's been back, and he looks in really good shape. He pulled some easy axle bar deadlifts. I hope he decides to do the whole show, because at the end of the day, if Bibi wants to do it, he can do it. He's there anyway. He might as well do the fucking thing. So it'll be good for him to see if he does come out and actually goes for the whole show, because as we know, I don't think Bibi has ever finished a full show, and we know what he's capable of when he actually does get the finger out and does a full show. I think his last full show, or close to full show, was the Royal Albert Hall, and he only did 4 events and still ended up on the podium. So hopefully Bibi will do the full show. So we have the Log Lift Championships, which is the first event, and we're going to see if the log record is going to be broken. And do I think it's going to be broken? It's literally a 50-50 chance, as it always is, in my opinion. I think Iron Bibi could easily do it. He could easily also miss it. Now, I know he was speaking to, watching the Giants Live podcast, he was saying, Darren was saying to Graham Hicks that Bibi wants to push it up to 235 kilos plus. Can Bibi do that? Absolutely. I think if Bibi's biggest problem, in my opinion, is his nerves. He gets so nervous before a show. I remember his last time at World's Strongest Man, and we were like having breakfast. It was like 3 days before it was even kicking off, and he was so nervous even at that point. And I know nerves help, but if it's to the point where you're not performing, it's a bit of an issue. And I think that's Iron Bibi's only issue when it comes to competing and literally doing what he can, doing what he's capable of doing. And I honestly believe, if you watch some of his training, he's so capable of doing a 240 kilo log. Something I'd like to see done is, I wonder, should we have 2 different records? Should we have a wooden log record and a metal log record? Because in my opinion, they are 2 different lifts. You have to treat a wooden log a little bit differently than to a metal one. I think if we use the metal log, the record would be over 240 kilos at this point, because with a metal log you have a bit more leverage to use. So if you have a metal log, when you're trying to clean it, you can shove your hands out to the end of the log, and it makes cleaning so much easier, as opposed to the wooden log. And if you watch Bibi, even when Bibi does the wooden log, he's so uncomfortable in that clean position, obviously because he's so big, but you've only one place to put your hands, and that's where the handles are. Whereas with a metal log, you can slide your hands up and down to where your best pressing position is. My best press is on a metal log, and a lot of other people are the same. All Big Z's records, as far as I know, were on a metal log as well. It'd be interesting to see what he would have done back in the day on a wooden log. In saying that, I'm not sure. As far as I know, all his records are on a metal log. So I wonder, should we have 2 different records for that? I think we should, because, as I say, they're completely different. Not completely different, but they're a little bit different. So with that said, it depends on Iron Bibi's mindset. If he comes into this knowing he can blast it, he will do it easily, and I'd love to see him do it, because he's very capable of doing it. And just watching him in his warm-ups and stuff like that, even last year before he did the 230 kilo record, he's something you should watch if you want to get your log press better, because if you watch him, Bibi presses a log, when he has it up to the top, he has those handles almost completely vertical. They're nearly straight up, as a lot of people will have the handles a small bit more horizontal. So something I notice he does is he'll pop that log right until the handles are nearly horizontal or vertical, and then he'll press the log. So hopefully we'll see him press the log and get the record. A couple of mentions there that I'd like to see there are Luke Stoltman, obviously, great log presser, Graham Hicks, Bobby, and Trey Mitchell. Like to see those guys there. It'd be great if we could get a full lineup of these guys, but there's so many competitions these days, it is hard to focus on just one lift like the log press. I think Graham Hicks, out of all the people out there at the minute, I think Graham Hicks is a guy that could easily push the record on the log, because as we see, if any of you guys follow him on Instagram, any day of the week that cunt can walk into the gym and bench 250, 260 kilos. It is crazy what that man can press on his worst day ever. Couple of the best powerlifters in the world will peak for 12 weeks and they won't bench what Graham can bench on a Tuesday. So it's just incredible what that man can press when he switches on. And I think if Graham switched his training from training for the deadlift onto a log, I think he's another guy that could smash that log record easily. So in terms of the rest of the gang, I think a couple of other guys that'll be high points log press is obviously Mitchell Hooper. We see him doing a 213 kilo log press in his own training. Who else? We got Thomas Evans is also a really good presser. We have Andre Fortu. I know I'm saying his name wrong. I can never fucking remember it. Sorry. He's one of the best pressers in the world at the minute. Maxime Baudrou is also a great log presser. So I think the top three guys from that will possibly be Hooper, Evans, and possibly Baudrou. Obviously Iron Baby will win it, but if he's doing the full competition, I hope he ends up doing it. So then we're moving on to the Strongman Open, the competition itself. We have the sandbag toss. Couple of guys. See, the sandbag toss is such an easy event to fuck up. You can have, like, I remember speaking about this to Luke Richardson. You can have 12 weeks of great training on a sandbag throw, and then on the day you need it, it won't be there. It's just one of those things. You can grab a bag, you can throw the bag a little bit wrong. It's just one of those things that you can mess up because it's a speed event then as well. And when you see guys like Luke Richardson, I think could take the win in this event. When you see guys like him throwing them up in 12 seconds, 13 seconds, it's put so much pressure on you to come out after that to try and get it done fast, and that's when you start making mistakes. So on this sandbag toss, possibly Gavin Bilton is another great tosser. Maxime Baudrou is also a great tosser. He's another guy. So on the top three guys on the sandbag, I would have to give it to Luke Richardson, Maxime Baudrou, and Gavin Bilton. All three great throwers. So it will be interesting to see how that turns out. Then we have the deadlift. Now, obviously, I'm rooting for Luke Richardson in this competition because it's his first competition back where an international competition, and actually it's his first full competition back since he tore his hamstring. And I'm just rooting for this cunt not to get injured. I'm praying to all the gods that he doesn't get injured and goes through a competition, even if he doesn't do well, just to get through a competition and just to show himself that he's able to get through a competition injury free. That being said, Luke Richardson won't take it easy either. I can see him podiuming in this competition, just great events. So the deadlift obviously is the chink in his armor at the minute because he's recovering from the hamstring injury, but he done his first and only heavy deadlift session last week where he did 330 kilos for a couple of reps, and they were so easy. So he's a man that could actually come out on top on this deadlift. So couple of guys, there's a couple of great deadlifters in this group. You obviously have Mitchell Hooper, who'll probably win that event. You have, who else will be great deadlifters? Paddy Haynes obviously is a great deadlifter. He's someone that could be really fucking annoying for the rest of the guys, because I can't see Paddy Haynes winning this competition or podiuming, but he's a couple of really good events where he could just annoy the cunts that are trying to get onto the podium, just because he's light, he's fast, and he's a really good repper for deadlifting. So top three guys for deadlifting, I would have to say possibly Paddy Haynes, Mitchell Hooper, and obviously Novikov is there as well. We've seen Novikov always on top with his deadlifts, even though he's going through a bit of a bad run. his deadlift is always there. It's a pity to see guys like this. Like, there's two guys in this list I think that should take some time off, just go back to basics, take 3 to 4 months off. That's Novikov and Bilton. They're not performing to their best in the last couple of competitions, and it's a shame really, because these guys are so good that I think if they took 3 months off, like, these guys must think they're gonna fucking die by the time they hit 35. Most of these guys, both these guys are young still in strongman, and I feel if they took a couple of months off, they could benefit so much, and it would benefit their career so much. Novikov is world's strongest man winner, remember, and now he's only mid-packing in some competitions. That's not the Novikov we know. And Gavin Bilton is a guy that we've seen it in his best. He's podiumed at Giants Live a couple of times. I just feel that he's constantly pushing and pushing and pushing and doesn't take any time off. If he took some time off, I think he could go at the level after that and start winning some Giants Live competitions. He just needs to take the pressure off himself, relax, go back to basics with your training, take some time off, and just work on the small things, you know, which is kind of what I'm doing at the minute. After that, then we have an arm over arm, which is a new event to Giants Live, to the best of my knowledge. I haven't seen it before, or if it has happened, it was a very long time ago. It is a truck pull, arm over arm. And in this event, this is one of the events where fucking anyone could win it. I'm just going to pick a couple of guys. Hooper's never out of the loop, because the cunt doesn't know how to be out of a loop. So you're going to have to put Hooper in there. He's light and he's fast. Who else have we got there? Kevin Simpleton is another fella that could do really well there. He's really strong and he's actually fast. Someone else there is Luke Richardson as well. Luke has been training really hard for this competition. It'd be hard to see him outside of any of these events when he's on form. All these events are really good for him. Paddy Haynes, another fucker here that could annoy a lot of people with this. He's young, he's fast, and he's got fast hands. So he's another fella here that could gather a couple of good points. And then we're going to finish up. Thank God we're not doing stones as usual. We're doing the power stairs. I'd like if we could think of a third or a fourth finisher for strongmen that is not either power stairs or stones. I'd like to see something else, something new. And I know it's a bit hard to think of what could you actually put in there. I know a couple of times what in other competitions I've seen people do car holds for time, which is a great finisher because you can do fuck all else after that. It's such a killer an event, and it's exciting to watch as well. Is literally see a couple of guys pick up the car and watch it drop one by one by one. It's a great finisher to the event, and there's low risk of injury as well, with straps as well to make it more interesting. So the top couple of guys for the power stairs, again, you can't put that fucker Hooper out of the loop. Put Hooper in there for the power stairs, even though he didn't do his greatest. I think he kind of struggled a bit in the power stairs at the strongest man on earth. So you'll never know how that would lean. Simpleton, because he is tall and he's strong, he's probably the guy that would win that event possibly. I know Luke Richardson has been training this event hard, and he's strong back, strong legs, and it's really the power stairs is a lot like the upper half of a sumo deadlift. So if you're a good kind of a broad stance sumo deadlift or conventional deadlifter, there's no such thing as a sumo deadlift. Power stairs is really good for you. It's something I struggled on because I hated them. It's probably because I'm not the tallest strongman. So there we have it. I think great events. There's a brilliant lineup here. I hope all the guys are recovered from the strongest man on earth. I know a few of them are injured. Not injured, they're not heavily injured, just more worn out than anything else, I think. Nathan Goldtree, I think, is a virgin to this show, to Giants Live, so it's good to see a new name in there. But I think on the podium we are going to have, and I'm never wrong, bear that in mind, I think we're going to have Mitchell Hooper, because the cunt doesn't know how to not make a podium. I think in second place, I'm really hoping he gets through the event without getting injured, but I think Luke Richardson could pop that second place. They're all really good for events for him. Even his log press at the minute is really good. I think he pressed 190 or maybe 200 in training recently. I can't remember. I don't really listen to him all the time. But all really good events for him. He could possibly win the sandbag. He could win the arm over arm. He could second or third the power stairs. He could third or fourth in deadlift. He could second, third, fourth maybe in max log. And like, you don't need to win events to be on that podium. You don't need to win events to win a competition. So I think if you're there and thereabouts a lot of it, and I think he will be, he's a guy that could be second place. After that, I think Kevin Simpleton will be in third, if he doesn't pop the second before Luke Richardson. It'll actually be really interesting to see these guys go head to head, as anyone that follows them online knows that they like to have a crack at each other all the time. So to see them there kind of be, they will be going head to head without, I suppose, unknowns to a lot of people. They will be really trying to beat each other than beat anyone else, which will be exciting to watch. So it'll be Hooper first, it'll be Richardson and Simpleton then second and third place. Do you know what? In that log press on the record, I think Andrea Fotu, I know I'm saying his name wrong, could really come close to that record. I'm thinking, I'm not sure what the jumps are, but he's repping like 210, 15 kilos in the gym, and if he gets him on a good day and he's a fucking fighter, that man could come close to that world record. So it's going to be really exciting. Even though we don't have a lot of the big names here for the log press, we have a couple of names here that could do really well in the log press, and I'm excited to see it. But yeah, make sure you check it out, guys, because it will be a good competition to watch. So there you have it. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong, and I will fight you. Anyway, guys, thank you all. Make sure you subscribe. Love you. Thank you very much. Mwah.